Hi there, and welcome to the Cult of Cinema. If you haven't been here before, set up, get a place around around our temple there, and just prepare for the cult. What we're going to do today, that was a really bad opening, but since this is live, I can't redo it. So there's the thing, there's the cool thing. Once it's live, it is what it is. Let's center this a bit better. Let's try and be semi-professional, why don't we? So I have an unboxing to do. Hey Jay, welcome man. I have an unboxing to do from Shadow here, who is a great viewer. I'm going to be looking at the Vinegar Syndrome stuff. I'm going to be talking about the Severance stuff. I'm going to talk about the Gamera stuff. This is not for kids because we are going to be looking at some stuff that is definitely adult only type of material. And I want your opinion on a couple things. Hey Mug, William, and Dave, hope you guys are having a great evening. I am having a so-so evening. I'm not feeling the best, but we're going to try and do this. So we'll go with the unboxing first. That'll be the smartest part. And then we'll go into the Vinegar Syndrome stuff that I talked about a little bit. And then we'll talk about the Severin and the Gamera sets. Aside from what I normally do on my channel, which is basically the regular Cult of Cinema, I have been toying with. I did not get the Renee Bond double feature. I'll explain why in a minute, why I won't be getting anything for a while. Aloha. While I'm toying with doing a Cult of Cinema After Dark, but that means it's going to be dealing with more adult subject matter. So I may be reviewing and showing different films from Vinegar Syndrome, and I'm not talking about your average Vinegar Syndrome films. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If that is something that does interest you and you want anyone to see representation for different types of cinema as well, then let me know right here on the Cult of Cinema, and there'll be more Cult of Cinema After Dark. If not, this is just the pilot, and we'll see where it goes. Like all pilots, you never know where it's going to go from there. With that being said, puppets, that's a good idea. Yeah. I can't throw my voice, and I know what you're talking about the movie. But yes, it'll be that type of films. The adults are like Petey Wheatstraw. Yeah, actually, we'll be getting a little more adult than Petey Wheatstraw. But yeah, we'll be getting into some more adult territory, and it won't only be adult cinema films as well. But like that'll be like a basis for it. I'm not going to be doing it like talking about this scene and this scene. I'll be more like breaking down the storylines and like and basically the features, that type of thing. Because that, my friends, the other way would get just a wee bit creepy. I'm just wondering. But here, so this is what I'm unboxing today. And I actually know what this is. Actually, I had to cut. There's a lot of like tape on this. He packaged this well, so like super well. So before I came down here, I knew I was going to have to cut all this tape, or we'd be like 10 minutes just doing this part of it right here. And he got me some slips from the Vinegar Syndrome from the sale. One that is now out of print. So I have the Spookies slip, the one that went out of print, which is actually super cool. I actually love the slip. Fantastic artwork on this, by the way. And he got me another slip as well. And this one is utterly gorgeous. And this is the Christmas Evil slip, the night he dropped in. And I love the back of this. This Christmas, you better believe in Santa, or he'll slay you. So this is gorgeous artwork on this slip here. If you've ever seen the Christmas Evil Blu-ray that came from Vinegar Syndrome, you know that inside of it, it's got wonderful picture and features and stuff like that. But outside, the exterior artwork is really is the worst artwork that Vinegar Syndrome ever put out. Hands down, is artwork that they did for the original release of Christmas Evil. If anything needed a slip to go over it, that it was Christmas Evil. And I want to thank Shadow again for actually getting these for me, because I bought Spookies and I wanted the slip cover, but it got into print, and I had Christmas Evil for a couple years, and I wanted this one. Unfortunately, I couldn't afford it at the time, so he got them for me. And Shadow, very much appreciated. Thank you again. And I'm going to be putting these on after this video is over, by the way, because Waters commentary. Oh, anything John Waters is awesome, man. I love his commentaries. Now, do I look at the Vinegar Syndrome stuff, or do you want to talk about the Severin and the Arrow boxes first? Viewer's choice. Always viewer's choice. Because if you're here before, you know that I got some stuff from the Vinegar Syndrome label during the Valentine's Day sale, and I got sick during making the video, like extremely sick. It was an epilepsy thing, so I went upstairs and I rested up. Arrow, you guys are going over. So there are two sets coming out. There's an Arrow set, Gamera set coming out. That's definitely going to rival the Criterion Godzilla set. It is going to be shaped very much in the same way that Herschel & Lewis serial box set is done. Just in case you're wondering what it's going to be like, in form. And there's an Al Adamson set coming out from Severin Films that is going to do the entirety of Al Adamson's career, basically, and include the groundbreaking documentary on his life there as well. So each of these are fantastic sets. Each of these are expensive sets. The Gamera set is running about 170 on the American Amazon right now, but it's running 110 pounds on if you buy it straight from Arrow directly, which is its cheaper price. So it's going to be running, that's around 180 Canadian. So I'm going to guess probably around 150 American. So that's one way to get it. Hey, Joseph. It is going to include not just all the Gamera films, including the reboot series that was done later on, but it's also going to include a large hardcover book, and it will also include the comic book as well. So, good question. Are they dubbed? Are they subtitled? Let's find out, because I don't know. So but I'm sure it'll be here on the Arrow website. So let us check that out, guys. So I apologize if I miss any of your comments, but I want to find that out myself, and we're gonna check it out together. If this freaking thing, I'm gonna kill this. Both English and Japanese. There, David beat me to it. Thank you, David. So you're gonna be able to choose which way you want it. So you're gonna be able to listen to it. If you like the old cheesy dub version of it, you'll be able to get it that way. If you want it subtitled, I prefer subtitling, by the way. If I'll only be listening to like a dub version of a film, if it's a film that I've watched a few times and I'm doing notes on it, like say I'm watching it again for a video and I'm taking notes on it, or I'm writing up something for a future class I could be teaching. That's when I'll listen to like a dub version of a film. That tends to be like my take on it. Everybody has their own thing. Now, some people want to listen to the dub version of the Gamera films because that's what they grew up with. That's kind of what they're used to. I don't have to get a DVD box set version, but I do know that they do have the Blu-rays on there. But it should be interesting to see. Like, I know it's a Blu-ray set, and it is a gorgeous looking set. The cover art for the set is fantastic. Check it out. And it's got a lot of people excited. Now, I want to talk a bit about the Al Adamson set as well. I'm going to go back and forth between these two sets, by the way. And I do have the Vinegar Syndrome stuff that I'm going to show off afterwards. So you guys are going to have to get into that again, because I did not get to talk about them the way that I wanted to last time around. That really bothered me, actually, because I planned a whole video around it. Now, the Severin set, Al Adamson set, is coming out with every film. Hey, Ricky, welcome, man. A little bit better. I still feel like I'm going to have to run. I'm going to have to run get some tea during this video, more than likely, because I didn't remember to bring it down. It's a really big difference, Alan, in Mill Creek's Gamera and then like what Arrow puts out. Arrow, we're looking at collectors versions here, so it'll be cool. But if you want to get like the Mill Creek set just to see what Gamera is about before you end up buying the big one, you might feel free to do that as well. Yeah, it is going to be a huge deal. And so is the Al Adamson set, actually, which some people have been iffy on. And some people are iffy on it because some people don't like Severin. That's what it came down to. On the forum site that I go to, everybody knows the forum site that you look onto for this type of stuff. There's been a lot of like, kind of complaints and stuff like that already. Why? Because some people just like to complain. Uh, and I'm actually excited about the Al Adamson set that's coming out. Al Adamson is one of these directors that makes exploitation fair, but he does a good job of making exploitation fair. You may not love everything that Al Adamson puts out, but you can't say it's put out badly. I don't think some people say, well, Al Adamson's in like the so bad it's good range. I don't think that actually. I agree, Muck. I'm a real big fan of Severin. Uh, I think that Al Adamson actually puts out some pretty decent stuff. Like, yes, he's put out some like cheesy stuff, like budget permitting and stuff like that as well. But some of his like his biker stuff, kind of the Jim Kelly, are actually really fun, and not and then just like a in a kind of a fun, just regular type of exploitation way. And there's a bit of everything on this set. One, it includes his entire career, so basically everything that he's done. So from his kind of his kind of the nudie cutie sexploitation stuff, from the stewardess like films to his horror stuff when he was doing like Dracula versus Frankenstein and trying to do stuff like that, to his biker films, to like his blaxploitation films as well, to his kind of like attempt at more serious films, Uncle Tom's Cabin. So you're going to get the entire range of this guy's stuff. But here's the big thing that I think that people have to take into account, more so even so than the Gamera set. Like you said, the Gamera set, Gamera is popular, and it's going to be out there, and I'm sure they're going to release in different versions as well. This Al Adamson set, this Al Adamson collection, this is probably going to be the only time that all of these movies ever get a physical release. And for some of these films, it may actually be the only time some of these get a release physically or digitally. Al Adamson is not one of those directors that streaming companies are going to be jumping for in the future. Not stream companies that are really kind of big on that stuff. You'll see a couple there. You'll see a Dracula versus Frankenstein show up. You're going to see like something like Satan's Sadist show up some places. But a lot of them you're not. For a lot of these films, this is it. This set is it. This is the release. If I was a betting man, this is the release it's going to get. And that's all she wrote. I don't expect an Adamson 4K set in the future. I expect this to be the set. Much like, see back there, like people always ask me, the Russ Meyer set, right? See in the background, the one with the, right there. Everybody mentions it every time and say, well, can we get the Russ Meyer set? No, the Russ Meyer set's gone, it's sold out. It's very expensive to buy now. The rights, there was a rights issue. And a lot of the Russ Meyer stuff can't come out anymore. Al Adamson's appeal is going to be limited to a certain amount, unfortunately. And some people are going to miss out. That's how it's going to go, I think. Some people are going to miss out because they're not going to sit in the way I do. They're going to look at it like so bad it's good. They're going to look at it like, oh, I can get this later, or this isn't going to sell out. I disagree. They've already pretty much sold out of the biggest bundle. So the big bundle that they put out first. Think of it like the Arrow bundle that was put out for the Herschel and Lewis. Remember that one, the Shock Gore one with the big box and the book and stuff like that? Well, remember how fast that one went? So same thing is happening to the biggest bundle that's being put out by the Al Adamson set. Exactly, Troy. The Hemisphere Horror box set, I grabbed that one when I had to, because I missed out on the Blood Island one. Because that one went out so fast and it wasn't coming back. Now, I asked my better half, I said, I was going back and forth between the Gamera. I could only get one of them. I couldn't afford both of them. They're both very expensive sets. But I knew sooner or later I'd get the Gamera set, even if I had to get like a pared down version of the Gamera set. Or I'd have to go find it online. I will find it. I didn't feel the same strength that I was going to find the Al Adamson set in any of the bundles. I had a feeling I could find it later, maybe on eBay, but bundle wise, maybe not so much. And scalpers can break those things up as well, you know. So I asked her, I said, okay, I want the Al Adamson set. It's up to you which one you get me. So I have a fantastic better half, and we took a crunch, but I got the Ghastly bundle. So for those that aren't familiar with exactly what the difference between the bundles are, I'll do that right now. And Alan, I've seen the Japanese anime, but I haven't seen all of it yet. That's the ones on Netflix, I'm guessing you're talking about. If not, then I haven't seen it. But yeah, I do want to. Hey, Emily, welcome. Did you get the LMs instead, Emily? Because it seems like your kind of type of thing. That's it. I missed out on Blood Satan's Cloud too. That's just gone. So the way that it worked is they put it out in 3 different ways. There's a regular Adamson set that were limited to 2,000. That's the normal one, right? That's the one you can get. But if you want the bundles, 7 bundles do tend to go out of print. Bundle of Go-Go was the first bundle, and that had, I'm not sure if you guys can see that. Hopefully you can. It had some neat things on there. So I'm not going to go through the features or anything like that. New Wave Hookers 2. That is awesome, dude. I remember the movie from when I was younger. And the original, actually. I think the original was redone. Your birthday is March 2, Emily? That's what my better half got me for my birthday this year. It was the Al Adamson set. Well, it's pre-ordered for me. Because, you know, one of them, the big bundle is almost sold out. So it's got the box set, it's got Vampire Fangs, which I think is utterly fantastic. Sam Sherman autograph postcard, and I'll talk on Sam Sherman later on. He's a producer that's made a lot of this stuff, and have Sam Sherman's autograph in my collection is actually a big deal to me because of the type of stuff that I like. If you guys looked at the stuff that I collect, you know why. There's a Satan Sadist patch, which I think is utterly fantastic. The Al Adamson enamel pin, and I love Severance enamel pins. There's a 7-inch vinyl single from a song from the Female Bunch. There's a Naughty Stewardess boarding pass, and there's a Carnival Magic shirt, which is utterly gaudy and fantastic. Markov and Alex. But if you buy the big set, like the really big one, the one that's close to being out of print right now, you also get 2 posters to go along with that. You get like an 18 by 24 inch Blood and Flesh LA Premiere poster, which actually is pretty cool. But the really big thing is you get a 27 by 40 inch. 27 by 40. And if you want to know what 27 by 40 is, go to your local theater and look at the poster outside. That's 27 by 40. That means theater size poster. And it's autographed by 4 people, actually. It's autographed by Gary Kent, who was in Satan Sadist, director was Frankenstein, Hell's Bloody Devils. He was in a bunch of stuff. Marilyn Joy, who was in Mean Mothers, Naughty Stewardesses, Blazing Tudor. She was in Nurse Sherry. John Bud Cardos, who was in like a bunch of them, like Horror and Blood, The Blood Monsters, Hell's Bloody Devils. He was in a bunch of Satan Sadists as well. And Xander Vorkov himself. Dracula, the Dracula with the goatee and the kind of like the, I guess the white guy afro, and Brain of Blood. He was in those, and I can't not have a poster autograph by the Dracula from Dracula versus Frankenstein. That's just a must for me. For a Z-grade movie lover that has grown up on this type of stuff. There's a really good episode of The Movies That Made Us podcast that came out recently. And it was with Eli Roth. And basically, they're talking about the films that made them, right? The movies that like you grew up on. And every time somebody does one of those episodes, they usually talk about, oh yeah, it was like, you know, and they talk about the big movies, talk about the Citizen Kanes that they watch, or talk about their bigger films that really influenced them. Now, Here's the thing: for the people, for the movies that are out there now, the Quentin Tarantino's and Eli Roths and that ilk of filmmakers, uh, yes, and the me's that do like videos and podcasts, sure, those movies really did like definitely super influenced us. I'm glad I told you. But here's the thing: here's this. That's not what really influenced us growing up. We were the people trolling the video aisle. Yes, let me know. I hope you like it as much as I do because I'm really looking forward to it. We trolled the video aisles. We watched Warlock and we watched Hunk, and we watched all those cheesy movies that weren't like done from big companies and they just had a box cover. Or we were teenagers and there was a cute girl and it was a slasher film and you said, oh, it's a slasher film. There's going to be boobs in this film. I definitely want to rent this one. This is the stuff we grew up on. This is the stuff that actually influenced us. My favorite movie of all time is Black Christmas, 1974. It's a classic film with some amazing camera work and some actually great real dialogue in there and some surprising great performances, especially for a genre piece. But it's still an exploitation film. It is, and by exploitation, that I don't mean like it's got to be like sex type thing, but exploitation is exploitation in different ways. It could be like black exploitation, where like it's an action movie, or it could be like an exploitation thing like Meatballs or Meatballs 2, or it could be an exploitation film like a slasher film, or an exploitation film like something like Fraternity Vacation, or like that soft core ilk like Night Eyes or something like that. All of those are in the blanket term of exploitation. Same as a Cynthia Rothrock film. No nudity, but there's a ton of fighting and kung fu and stuff like that. That's an exploitation film as well. And those are the stuff we grew up on, the Cynthia Rothrock stuff, the Bruce Lee stuff, the Dario Argento stuff, when it was like cut down and named something else. When Tenebrae was called Unsane, and you were getting like a really cut down version of it. And then you'd like send away to a place like Video Search Miami back in the day. And you get this like tape, like this VHS tape, and there'd be like a greenish blue cover, which is just cardboard really. And it was like with the name Tenebrae on it. And you finally had it under the name Tenebrae with a little description on the back. And you put it in, and sometimes it was like a third generation copy, which if you're too young to remember the VHS stuff or haven't been in that, sometimes that meant you could be trying to like fix it. It could be like a squiggly thing down at the bottom of it. Could be a little snowy, but you're just glad to have be able to see the film uncut. You, those fools at the video store got the cut version. You managed to track down and get the uncut version, come to your house, and you had it there, and you call up some of your friends, and you'd get together, and you'd grab some snacks, maybe grab like some drinks and stuff, and you'd sit down and you'd watch it, and you'd be like utterly fascinated with it. And that's like the Al Adams stuff, and that ilk stuff. You'd go to the video store and you grab that. You grabbed Dracula versus Frankenstein. It looked cheesy as hell, but you had a bunch of friends ready to sit down and watch it with you. Yeah, exactly. Doctor Who tape trading. By the way, Doctor Who, David, is glorious right now. This is the best it's been since Russell T Davies. Holy crap! But I'll get into that another time. So I can't do a video intro, Alan, unfortunately, because it's a live channel. If it was for my non-live videos, I will do some eventually again. Then I'll do a video intro. I used to have ones before. It's just the magic of cinema, unfortunately. But yeah, sorry, I got really passionate about that. But yes, those are the films that influenced me. That is why I do this right here, talking with you guys. That is why I got these films in the background. That's why Vinegar Syndrome is a label that for some reason right now, I guess because of me, like some people will hear the name Vinegar Syndrome. That's okay, dude. They think me, or they think my channel, and I'm very honored by that, because I love that stuff. That really like it excites me to talk about. Sorry guys, I went off on a little bit of a tangent there, but I was very excited about this, and that's what I want to do with. It's called Cinema After Dark. I want to talk more about the stuff some of the stuff that excites me. I wanted to be able to talk on some more adult levels on some more topics of that as well. I have 7 right here, which are actually 11 films from the Vinegar Syndrome Valentine's Day sale. And I'll actually go through these in a minute. I'll go over these. I actually mentioned them before, but I mentioned them in shortly in passing. And if you want me to, just so you know, I actually can review some of these. I'll go through the story, I'll go through the features, I'll watch the commentaries, the interviews, all that type of stuff. Some of them is going to take a while, but I will. I'll do like reviews, and by the way, I don't mean like reviews like you're going to see some. So I haven't watched any of them in a while. Like I'm sick, unfortunately. Like I watched some of these before. Let's be honest. I've seen a lot of these movies before, but like to watch them again, like to see like how the transfer is, and like I don't get into transfer that much anyway. But just to see the film, see the features, that type of thing, and actually just talk about the film and how I felt about it overall. That I'll definitely be doing. Yeah, Brian does a great job with that. I was actually talking to Brian the weekend. See, we do plan on, fingers crossed, everything goes okay, plan another podcast collaboration in the upcoming future. So I'll keep you guys like abreast of that. By the way, Brian's last few podcasts, if you haven't checked them out, like both in the Just of This and the Pure Cinema podcast, just knocked them out the park. He just completely knocked them out the park. What I like about Brian is that he has the same type of energy and passion for films that I do, and it shows. It shows in his podcast. And if you haven't listened to Just of This, man, seriously, it's something to get on. He's completely right. And Brian's been smart in the kind of going with a little bit less, and by doing that, he's able to focus a bit more on each one. Obviously that helps when it comes to when he's putting the show together as well. So to be able to do that focus. So when you go down to instead of a top 10, you go into a top 5 or a top 3, and you actually talk about them each way and talk about the features and that stuff. That's invaluable to somebody like me, and to most of you guys on here as well. I think it will be. You collect movies too. Brian goes in all the companies, so I definitely, if you watch this channel on a regular basis and it's something that you listen to, maybe even just put this on the background, then Just of This podcast from Brian Sauer is definitely a good companion piece to this channel. There we go. So, find them hard to get through, Warlock, or you just slowly getting through them? Because there's so much there. So I did get 7, which is 11 films, and I'm going to go one by one. If you see one here that interests you, that you want to know more about, hey Brian, welcome, man. Hey, it's Cubic Club, the other Brian here. I heard about the Zeppelin concert. Oh, the reason I do the overviews, collection overviews, is one, for me, so I know exactly what I got, and 2, because if I show you guys a collection of stuff, and say you watch it, or you just kind of watch it a bit, and then you go back and watch it later on, you see a movie that you're interested in, that is the easiest way for you to basically figure out something that you want to ask me about. Got a couple questions, and I'm going to answer these before I go any further. Receiving Deadly Manor tomorrow. I actually recently saw Deadly Manor. I got to see 3 of his films hit blue this year. Rest in Pieces, Edge of the Axe. So Jose Larraz, right? Excellent. So what I think the newly announced Gamera set, I love it. I think it's utterly gorgeous. I think the Gamera set and the Al Adams set are both fantastic. I hope that somehow I'll eventually be able to get them both. I went for the Adamson set first, Warlock, because that's my jam. But I will definitely get the Gamera one too down the road. I'm a huge fan of you guys know I'm a kaiju fan, so that's something that I will definitely be grabbing. My better half is a kaiju fan. She loves the Gamera films, and she told me at the end of the day when we had both of the sets there, and we were looking at them both between the Al Adamson and the Gamera set, and I know she liked Gamera set better. She said, you have to get the Adamson set. It's not going to come around like this again. This isn't going to happen again. She said, Gamera might happen again. Adamson won't. So both of them are fantastic. Like they have gone all out. Severin and Arrow Video have be nothing but be proud of what they've done with these two film sets. Like these were movies, guys, that back in the day couldn't make it to the dollar bins. I'll eventually be getting Ultraman sets. I love that stuff, and I love Ultraman, so yeah, I will eventually get them. I want them all. Like, and now you're seeing them like with features and books and plastic freaking fangs, which I utterly adore, by the way. It's genius. It's amazing that we live in a time when people are saying, well, you know, physical media is dead, and then this comes out, and you're like, well, it doesn't seem too dead to me. Dolly Dearest, the Giallo set, the Spanish box set. Like, look at all the stuff coming out this year. Like, this is February, like, guys, this is the second month of 20. There are 10 months to go. 10 months to go in this year, and already we have two sets that verge on being the sets of 2020. Like 2 months in, and you've got two sets that could be verge on being 2020. Yeah, there's a kind of like a forgotten Spanish horror set coming out from Vinegar Syndrome this year, Chris. Forgotten Giallos and Spanish horror, right? That's how it goes. I'm gonna go. I'll get them right one of these days, and I will be definitely grabbing those. Oh, definitely, it is one hell of a renaissance going on right now. Just as people are saying, well, you know, this is it. You know, there's so many streaming services. There's Disney Plus, there's Netflix, and all that out there. But here we are today, in 2020. You know, when physical media is totally dead, talking about these box sets that are coming out of stuff that you never expected to see. You know where I would find an L. Adams movie back in the day? Back, like, on a VHS EP tape in a Kmart bin for $2.99. That's how I'd find L. Adams, and it'd be broken about a week and a half of watching it. That's how we got to watch those films. Yeah, streaming is fantastic. It is convenient. I stream some stuff, but I own my stuff because depending on streaming is a sucker's bet. The Rebirth of Mothra, a trilogy. I think they eventually will. You do have to budget-wise because there's so much out there. Like you can't, like, some people can afford to get it all. I can't. I can't get it all. I had to choose between those two sets. Like, which am I going to get now? Which one I may lose out on one. That's the thing. I went with the wisdom of my better half, and I think she's right. Troy thought she was right too. Mm-hmm. Oh, she has one of them too. Hammer Volume 5, which I've already got pre-ordered that one like a long time ago. John Ford Columbia. There's so much coming out, so much great stuff. I'm very excited right now. This has been the happiest I've been making a video in a long time. Yeah, it is. It's insane that we're getting this at all. Now, quick aside before I go any further. I got these 7 recently. I don't speak on them for a second. You ready? What I want from you, because I do want response here, guys, is which, if any of these movies interest you and you would like to know more on in the future, like you like a review, a feature review, that type of thing, or just review like the film, let me know. Because After Dark could be a series that goes forward. So much like people. And we'll start with Throat 12 years after. So this is Damiano, I think. Yeah, this is Jared Damiano. who made this. This of course is like it's sort of a sequel, kind of, not really, but it's kind of a sequel to his original film, like Deep Throat, which it isn't at all. It's nothing at all. It's nothing at all like Deep Throat. It's very, very different. And if you want me to, this is one that I can do. I actually can do a review of in the future, because this one does have like, it's a newly scanned 2K restoration of the film. There's a video interview with the lead actress of the movie on here. There's a video interview with the cinematographer Larry Ravine, and there's audio interview with Sharon Kane. And when I say there's audio interview with Sharon Kane, there's a career spanning interview with Sharon Kane on here. They might be waiting a while on that Friday 13th rights, unfortunately. I'd be interested to see what Scream Factory pulls out of their this year. Yeah, not a sequel. It's not for legal reasons, right? A reflection, not a sequel, with a very different storyline as well, and actually a storyline that does interest me. I won't say any more because I want to get into this one in the future. I had like somebody say, Ricky say they'd like to see that one spoke about, so I will watch it, which means I got to watch it a couple times because review. Next up's classic, and one of the classics. And that is just Taboo with Kay Parker. Again, this one is one that if you want to see me talk about this film and want to do a review, this one's going to be a little longer because this one has 4 commentaries on it. So that means I got to watch the film, take notes, and then watch the film 4 more times, listening to each audio commentary and take notes on that as well and see how good the audio commentaries are. So for anybody that's interested in knowing about Taboo, let me know. This one will take a little bit longer, but I have some kind of like, I won't say like personal stories, not as in that way, but in personal as in like the my youth, when like growing up watching these films and how I found that film. There's not, I mean, like, and some of the stuff, some people I find do an amazing job with it, and other people just do it in like the, what this had this type of scene, this had this type of scene. That's not that's not the way I want to take it. But I want to take it in a fun way, right? We'll get to that one actually. Pretty Peaches Trilogy 3 is one that I will review. Basically because I remember these films from my youth, and I'm kind of interested in like going back. There's no features on these, so this will be an easy review. Tenru Mazzaro, I've seen, that's the guy that like takes like adult films and kind of does like he does like a lot of them. That's like his thing, right? Like he does like, and he does them so seriously. It gets more graphic than I would, but I do like his channel. I actually do. So if you ever shoot him a word, just tell him I like his stuff that he does. Now, if for those who don't know who Tenru Mazzaro is, Tenru Mazzaro does like a lot of like adulty type reviews, not something put on like around family or kids or anything like that, because he does not mess it like Mug's right. Hey, welcome back, Brian. Tenru Mazzaro does not mess around. He will get into a bit of the graphics when he's with the language and stuff like that. A fantastic channel, and I do watch him. I just have to let you like forewarned, like maybe listen with headsets on. Hey, and ready? I hope you're getting the that Al Adamson set. Tenru Mazzaro, Kubrick lover Brian, does reviews on like a lot of the sexploitation genre and a lot of the X-rated stuff as well. And he does go in like, and he will go in detail. He doesn't mind going into detail. Where I will skirt around certain things, guy doesn't. 10 room. Like think of like the number 10, the word room, Bizarro. Taboo 2 and 3. If I do the Taboo film, I'm going to do the 3 of them. I wish I had part 4 because I would like to do them as a quadrology. Because for me, they work as a quadrology. You do, Ricky. You do need those. Next up is one that people ask me to talk about, and that is, I just got asked here. That is Blue Money. And this is the alternate artwork. I turned it around, as you guys can see, because way better than the artwork that was on there, which was basically a kind of a blue cover with kind of a bad drawing, and I had this guy and like a girl in each, kind of like holding on to each leg. But this artwork is way better. This was the inside artwork, way better. So I turned it around. Definitely gonna be talking about this one. Really good film. I gotta watch this one again. Alan Patrick did this one. This one's gonna take a bit too, because there is like another film on here as well. Maybe I'll talk about that one too. I have not seen. I don't think the Affairs of Aphrodite, so that's new to me. I wonder if it's gonna be good or it's gonna be like kind of like a cheesy one. A Given is Skinflix. Skinflix, the same as Blue Money, are two that will definitely 110% be brought up on this channel again. That may like warrant their own videos, or a video about both of them to together. I was at Dollarama today, but we got nothing there, man. With nothing, zero, zilch, nada. Our Dollarama is bereft of movies at all. They've had the same thing there for the last like 6 months. So sad. We'll get a few in during like Halloween. That's when we get some new stuff in. No, I unfortunately, Mug, the cover, the slip cover for Skinflix was sold out by the time that I got it. I've only got one adult film with yes, that's one of the reasons I got this one. I actually one, it looks to have a decent story, but two, there's a feature-length interview with Sharon Mitchell, and Sharon Mitchell's fantastic. When you think of like the top, like in the top 5 people you want to be interviewed on this era of the adult industry, Sharon Mitchell usually is at the top of that list. There's reasons for that. Some fantastic reasons for that. I cannot wait to dive into this interview, by the way. There's also commentary with Heather Drain and Sam Deegan, and both of them are fantastic with every single commentary that they do, both solo and together. I just find that like each one that I listen to gets better than the last. So yeah, we'll be getting into that one. And the only slipcover one I got is Mascara, and I got this. Well, it's directed by Henry Pritchard, but I'm a huge Roberta Findlay fan. And hey, Shadow, dude, I just did your unboxing at the beginning of this video. Thank you, by the way. And I hope things are going well at home there now. I'm going to put those on right after the video, because my Christmas Evil desperately needs to look good and not have that green Santa cover on there. Shadow here is the reason that this video got done tonight, by the way, guys, because Shadow sent me the slip covers that you saw me unbox at the beginning of the video. So I think I'm going to switch this. Am I going to switch this cover around? No, not really. It's good either way. I'm not sure. But Mascara, this is it with the slip cover off, same, basically. Have I ever written the Vinegar Syndrome in an email? I've tweeted them every once in a while, and I'm sure that but that's really been about it. Haven't really got into like storefront collections. There's only 2 of those so far. I don't have either one of those yet. I do need to get both of those. A channel that I used to watch, don't watch so much anymore. The Cinema Snob. It just doesn't. I don't. For me, it's not as. It doesn't find as great anymore. But that's just me. But he did like a lot of reviews on those films, on a lot of those storefront theater films, which I actually utterly enjoyed, every one of them. So those were fantastic as well. I do have to get those sets down the road. I hope they're still available from Vinegar Syndrome. I have a $5 coupon, which I have to spend in March, apparently, because that's like the last time I could spend it. But obviously, because the Al Adamson set going for the Ghastly bundle, no more buying for me, aside from using that $5 coupon in the near future, unless like something comes in super cheap and I actually like have enough money saved up to get it on the sly. And that's true. I mean, like that myself, Warlock, for instance. my I've revamped and my channel umpteen dozen times, and I'm sure there's going to come a day when there's only so much I can talk about certain things. But that's why you guys are here. That's why you guys are helpful, because I don't just have to talk about this. I get to see your perspective, and everybody else gets to hear your perspective on all this stuff. Well, thank you, Ryan. But aside from being a source of information, that's what you guys are too. Because I will get stuff wrong. Like, you cannot go 100% on me. I will get stuff wrong, and that's why you guys are there to say, "Hey, that wasn't right." I did a Doctor Who video. I got a few things wrong in it, and like there was like comment like, "Okay, no, this was wrong. This wrong. This wrong." I appreciate stuff like that, because it's this here isn't like, just because I'm the person on the face on here. You guys are the voices. That's why Warlock. That's why open up the conversation more is what I'm doing. That's why I'm going here and starting the called the Cinema After Dark Club. So for people that are into that, and just let's get a show of hands right now. Oh, see you later, Scalder man. Do you have any medieval movies? I'll have to look. I got Evil Dead 3, but I probably have some. Yeah. Who wants and call the Cinema After Dark Club? Because that's like, ideally that's one of the reasons that I came on tonight. Aside from the unboxing, I want to know what people's thoughts are on that aspect of it. Excellent. So that's it. All I need are 3 people to say yes, because I want to make sure representation of all films are here. Well, Brian, I will be talking about, like, among other things, and this is not just how I read on my channel. This is for the After Dark, called some After Dark. I'm going to be talking about it, some of the earlier adult films as well. That's definitely the when like for more of the for not for the kiddies type stuff, but I'll be talking about them. I'll be looking at like different releases, looking at different features, different interviews. I'll be talking a bit about some of the history behind some of the films and behind the adult industry back there in general. We will try to eventually do it in much in the same way that you hear stuff about the video nasty era, is hopefully through these releases and through these interviews and stuff like that, I can actually dive a bit into that and uncover a bit more about an era that unfortunately we don't hear enough about. Slap and tickle films, we'll get to those as well. I love that. That is so cool. But yeah, so we are going to be. My niche. I don't know if I got a niche. I love everything. It's weird. I love my niche. The LA Absence that I'm buying. That's my niche. That's me. One of my niches. Okay. But the earlier adult stuff, the late the 70s to the early 80s stuff, when it was going to cinema, stuff like that, that really interests me. And not just, oh look, there's new people in cinema and in films. Yes, that's there all the time. But like I say, like I mentioned many times, the history and the bumps and curves and like the things that happened, like behind the scenes, fascinates me in every genre, but especially in this genre, because I don't think it's told enough about. I don't think it's representative enough. Do you have any peekaboo films? What is a peekaboo film? I don't. I don't think so. Is that the the Peekoramas? Yeah, I got a couple of those. If that's what you mean. And a good film, whether it be adult or G-rated or R-rated or X-rated, is a good film, in my opinion. Well, I would. Nymphomaniac is definitely more like like a 70s-ish adult film. That's for sure. Or maybe in early 80s. Seems like in early 80s. I think Lars von Trier was really kind of like leaning towards the early 80s, late 70s era when he made Nymphomaniac. Because it is like story. Like, there's sex in there, but it's a story, and it's a dark story. Hey, Chris, doing pretty well actually. I got two amazing slips, which I will show again. Courtesy of Shadow, who I think is still here. I got the first spooky slip, which sold out, and I really, really wanted this one. Hey, Kobe. Super fun film. The documentaries on this movie are incredible, by the way. And I got the Desperately Needed. Hey, thanks again, Shadow. Christmas Evil slipcover. This is gorgeous, by the way. Way, way better than the Christmas Evil cover that's on Vinegar Syndromes. Well, a lot of them do work as art films, and we're done that way. Sometimes, oh, you are gonna love Spookies. It's a lot of fun. And aside from that, watch the documentaries. They're super cool. The 70s and 60s. Hey, Daz, yeah. Coming in late, but still coming in. And I appreciate that. What's the question there, Brian? Because hey, 13 Wolfman, welcome, man. To make movies like Hollywoodland, what are some of my favorites? Good question. That's actually something to do a video on. Hollywoodland is definitely one of them, though. One of my favorites is that nobody talks about. It's a TV movie, The Search for Scarlett O'Hara. Cheesy film, but it's just someone that I like. You can actually get it on the Gone with the Wind set, and I have it. So, and it's was one of those done back in the day. A lot of actors playing different famous actresses and stuff. Not very many people know about it unless they really dive to the Gone with the Wind set. But I remember it coming out back in the day. Oh no, they still. I think they still do. I mean, it really depends on the film. But yeah, I think there's probably less in the exploitation age genre than there was before. Did I order Al Adamson? My better half is amazing. She ordered me the Ghastly bundle for my birthday, so the big set, the one with the posters, and I've already planned the framing of the theater poster with the autographs in my condo in Morocco. That's one of the very first things I'm gonna be putting up. I think it really depends on the stuff that you watch, though, Brian, because I have to take into consideration that there's films like Brown Bunny, for instance, that was done a few years back, and Chloe Sevigny, I think it's Chloe Sevigny, I'm pretty sure it was, the scene, the infamous scene, actually. She got a lot of hack for it, a lot of stuff for it, though. I love Blacklist stuff, 13 Wolfman. Anything on the Blacklist. Like that movie, oh God, what's the name of it? The writer. It's killing me right now. You know what it is. Which one are you ordering, dude? Are you ordering which bundle? Are you going for the medium bundle or just the set, or the big bundle? I think you're safe with if you're just getting the set or you're getting the medium bundle. I think you're safe. It's the big bundle. That's good. Trumbo, thank you. That's out. 420. That's what I went for. The 240. Yeah, right. Which is 330 in Canadian, by the way. Found that out really quickly. But my better half ordered that without me, without telling me before. Tales from the Quad Dead Zone. Wow, I haven't heard that in ages. Years ago, man. I don't have it though. Miss American Pie. I don't have that. It is a massive bundle, Shadow. I had to go for it. You get your vinyl record there. You get your posters. You get the boarding pass, the stewardess boarding pass. Incredible. Severin does this best. The one thing Severin does, people can rag on Severin, or they don't like this one release, or they don't like that release. But I own that one, actually, Ricky. Bismarck. I do own that. But Severin puts out these bundles with these T-shirts and extras, and they do it better than anyone ever did. and I love like Vinegar Cinema's my jam, man. I'm Mr. Vincent. That's the thing. But and they do packaging like movie packages put together. That Vinegar Cinema, they do that better than anyone else. Bundles, that's Severin's game. That's Severin's like to win, and they do. Like you're getting your movies. You get like a bunch of T-shirts. Like every time I've got Severin bundles like 3 times, and every time I get a bundle, uh, I'm super excited about it. I want to see a Friday 13th box at Emily, but I'm worried because right now, unfortunately, there's that like lawsuit going on. That's not it too, actually. Criterion Godzilla set. Oh, that is actually cool. Why'd you? Yeah, like when they started out, like so the Killing of the Hays Code, because there's a whole era of like, well, we'll get into it later on. Things like the nudie cuties and how like things went progressed from there. Um, so it'll be interesting to get into. I'm looking forward. I'm actually glad that some people came on and said yes, I want to see the cult cinema after dark continue past this here. I'll be looking forward to actually making some of those videos. But that being said, that's not your jam too. All the regular cult cinema video stuff still here as well. That's just gonna be some special episodes done in between. We're still gonna be having some of our cool, interesting stuff. Somebody's getting just the set. You don't need the extras. There's a Sam Sherman autograph. I think you need the Sam Sherman autograph. That Sexploitation is a great primer, but not really for like adult cinema. It's a great primer for like before that, the pre-era, the nudie cutie era. I definitely recommend that one. Severin put that out, by the way. What's going to be my next collection video? Good questions, Chris. But I'm not quite sure. I've been looking at a couple things. It could be anything from Kino to, I've already done like a few. But there's a few I got left to do. There's a lot I got left to do. I got to do the Arrow one yet too. Hey Jacob, welcome, man. I'm really, so it could be anything from Kino to Arrow to something in between. I have not seen the House of Jack build yet. Moonlight over Morocco. Oh, I love that name. I'm going to remember that. Remind me of that name more. Like I'm going to use that one. I'm stealing that one from you. Halfway package. I would love to have the Vincent F halfway package. Unfortunately, I can't. I need to get Trip Teacher still. I don't have that one yet. Oh, yeah, that's true. Thing woman. It is kind of comic where I have to look around and say, which one to do next? I don't know. Please move like Trip the Teacher. You think so? I honestly think when it comes to a lot of the of like the anger and stuff like that, and this is just my thing. This is the only thing that's saying this, this because I don't want to get like into anything like that. But I think that a lot of it is falsely hyped up stuff that people aren't actually angry about. That's my thought on it. Is that there's a lot of stuff that people said. You'll see these articles like people upset about, and then you dive into it, and you're like, people really aren't upset about that at all. Some people would just like to create controversy. Oh no, you have some great ideas there, Ryan. So brainstorming is a fantastic idea. I really need to get Trip Teacher. That's the only movie he ever did. That director, like he'd worked on stuff before, but it's the only movie he ever directed, and actually it's a really good film. Rerun this. I got and just your tracking. Fantastic VHS documentaries. Yep, Jacob. I pre-ordered one. My better half pre-ordered for me for my birthday this year. The Ghastly bundle. even before that it was announced that it was going out of stock, I was looking at it like it was going out of stock, and I was thinking, oh, should I ask my better half, for this? I went up because I was going back and forth, and I went and I said, I'm thinking like, and she, you don't have to think, I've already done it. Any thoughts on Alejandro Jaworski said? Should be. I would love to have it. Halfway to Black Friday. Hopefully, I'll be doing a lot of videos for that. We'll be going through like Vinegar Syndrome stuff. We're going to be breaking down some stuff with the adult stuff as well. I can do that too. We'll be doing like the horror. Maybe I'll break down in genre, do it a different way than I did last time around. Last year, when I did the Halfway to Black Friday sale, I actually did it from upstairs in my study room, which is my youngest room actually, and I actually had my iMac there, and we went through every one of them. Abduction of American Playgirl. Sounds familiar, actually. Was Jamie Gillis in that? Actually, I haven't talked about it yet, so your timing's perfect. What's my thoughts on the Vinegar Syndrome March package? What is the March package again? Is that extra or is that February? Let me just check. You know what? I don't remember the Vinegar Syndrome March package right now. So I'm going to look. So maybe that's not good. Oh, okay. God, I should know this. Deadline. I really want Deadline. Deadline is if that's one thing about the Jamie Gillis one's really good actually, Alan. I don't own it, but it's a really great film. Deadline is a exploitation film. Definitely into that, man. Malabemba, another really cool one. And Olivia, I know it is Prosley. I guess that's the UK title, but that I'm pretty sure that's the one, right? With Uli Lommel, with Suzanne Love starring in it, right? And of course, there's the Hell Riders, which I'm hoping to still be in print by the time that I actually can afford to get it. Yeah, it's still over $500, so that's pretty cool. As long as I can get it before, because I don't want to miss any of the VSA. I'm not getting the March package right now. I won't be getting any more Vinegar Syndrome except for one title until actually the until they do the big release. And Wes has been here, or was here at one point anyway, actually. And Wes said that adult cinema is an important and overlooked part of cinema history. That I'd be perfect person. Oh. Thanks, Wes. You are missed, by the way. Since Wes has gone back, Wes was here with me for 4 days. Since Wes has gone back, the cats have gotten even more needy because I've got 3 cats, guys. Wes was here with the kitty cats, like petting them and taking care of them and all that. Well, me and my better half are off to work. So now they're jonesing for the petting that they were getting from Wes. So when we get home now, they're even more like up in my face. But they're 15 now, 13 women, so they deserve the spoiling. Oh yeah, that set's got a print now, isn't it, Brian? The one without Hope on that on it. Holding Jodorowsky's movies are a mind melt, but I utterly love them. I haven't seen Murder in the Season in a while. I got it here. Actually, I got a Blu-ray of that one. It's Alan Ormsby, I think, if I remember correctly. I got to rewatch it. I got to start going through some of those releases. Because I bought these 5 films, 5 years sets that came out from Vinegar Syndrome, and I think there's still 1 or 2 that are available. If you don't have them, I really recommend them because it's 2 Blu-ray sets where they have 5 films on them. Which, if you've never gotten into Vinegar Syndrome before, or say you've never gotten into the adult stuff before, if you can find the adult ones, the erotic ones they put out, like it's a good way to have some of those movies. Actually, maybe you haven't watched any of that stuff and you're kind of curious about like the earlier stuff when they had storylines and plots and all that type of thing. Definitely check those out. And it's also why you want to put ones in your collection that are not going to, and it'll be look unassuming, and nobody's going to look at them and say, "Oh, look, that's an adult film." They're just going to see like a regular case. Jodorowsky's Dune, by the way, which is an amazing, amazing documentary. There's another one I'm doing, guys. I'm going to be doing a documentary collection. I don't have the Seinfeld complete series, Ellen. That's the one that my better half won't get me for sure because Seinfeld is not one of her favorite shows. I actually do like it though. Yeah, it's probably an interesting story. It's not like remember Behind the Green Door? You remember that one? Like that, there's weird for you. Green Ice, good choice. No one's put that out, I don't think, have they? You have the Blu-ray of that one. I got it on DVD, I think. I don't think I got the Blu-ray. I got to check. Maybe I do have the Blu-ray. Hey, Trini, welcome, man. Everybody's had Wes, who is here, but and silently watching. Actually, I recently did a Synapse collection. But I'll be going over things like as I go through. Like once I do all my collection videos, I'm going to be doing. I'll be theming stuff as well. Also, I'll be doing like my top vampire films, my top werewolf films, my top like thrillers and psychotic films, and I'm going to go through going through a lot of stuff. Do you know the movie that I used to watch a lot? There's a couple movies. No, they're on Blu-ray now, I think. One of them may not be, but I'm sure I know one of them is. Fraternity Vacation, like just a cheesy film with Stephen Jeffries on it. Oh, Wes is here. Wes is quietly watching, actually. Oh, he doesn't mind me like out and being here. And I watch that one all the time. And there's like, if you like Stephen Jeffries, by the way, is the actor that played Evil Ed in the original Fright Night. He would do a bunch of films like in the 80s. I would eventually fall out of that scene and would actually got into gay pornography, became like a big star in that. Which I was really surprised to find out like years later when I saw an interview that had been like he was like in that for years. So you never know where people are going to go. A B movie. And the other one's Hunk, which actually Eli Roth mentioned. I love that Eli Roth mentioned this movie. Hunk was a movie that came out back in the day, which was about a nerdy guy like me that is on a beach and he wants to get with the girls, but he's a nerdy guy like me, and he's a computer programmer. So James Coco plays the devil, and he actually no, it was him, and he actually talked about it a few times, that being in the adult industry. He makes no bones about it, and nor should he. And James Coco plays the devil, but what's really good, I'm a huge fan of Deborah Shelton. Deborah Shelton was on Dallas, and she was, of course, in the movie Body Double by Brian De Palma. She has the bluest eyes I've ever seen, and like in any actress. So yeah, so she plays like the kind that tempts him to become to take on the role of Hunk. And it's a cheesy movie, but it's a really, really fun movie. And I watched it way more times than I care to admit that I watched it. But it's just one that I really, really liked. And not gonna lie, young Aaron would love to have been Hunk growing up. But young Aaron wasn't. Older Aaron wasn't. Hunk doesn't exist as a person really, but still. I enjoyed it. And if you've never seen it, check it out. It's really fun, like comedy. American Gigolo is a good film. Have you ever seen Hot Dog? Yeah, years ago, Alan. There's a new release of that one, and I actually got to get that because actually it's really, really a fun film, and it's nice to have fun films that you can just watch and not have to worry about I've got to really think about this one. I like to just think, and to just not think. George Dune's fascinating. No, I think like it would have fascinated. And the thing is, so many ideas were lifted from that. Wes, if you ever get a chance to watch Jodorowsky's Dune, it's a great documentary that it's fascinating, and Mimi will like it too. You guys, this is a one you guys should watch together because it was a film that was never made. Version of Dune. Dune's a famous book by Herbert, but anyway, it was a book series, but it was never made, and a lot of like things in that were made in that film are now being like were lifted from the script and take for other films. What do I think about the Blue Underground releasing of edition of Zombie in 4K? It's good. I'm not going to. I won't be dipping again. I can't, Emily. I would love to. I love the film, and I've got many versions of it. But I just bought like a 40 something dollar version of Zombie, which is a really good version. Which kudos, Blue Underground, you've done some amazing stuff like that. If anything, it's going to make me think twice because I got 4K, and it's going to make me think twice before I buy your limited editions right away, your big box like Skill and Ticklers, because is there another 4K edition coming out? It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't type of thing. I'm glad it's coming out. It's fantastic, but it sets a precedent that was set by Synapse when they showed their Suspiria 4K. It's great that it's coming out, but all of a sudden we gotta wonder: should we wait on some of these things? And I'm like Shadow. I love Blue Underground. I love the stuff they do. I think that Vinegar Syndrome did it right. They didn't put out Tammy and the T-Rex until they put out Tammy and the T-Rex Blu-ray edition, Tammy and the T-Rex 4K edition, and then they let people choose whichever one they wanted. That's what I thought was the best way to go about it, and definitely the best way to do it. That's the perfect way to do it. If you're a company and you're looking towards putting in a 4K edition of a film, I know you may be excited about getting it like a Blu-ray edition with some bells and whistles and all that on there. Wait. If you know for sure there's a 4K coming down that pipeline, hold off a bit. Put them both out at the same time. Let the public decide which one they want to go for. It might save you a bit of money in the long run too, and it could stop you from having some backlash, some unneeded backlash, which really isn't. You're doing the best you can as a company. So that's my thoughts on that. So we were sending the Ticto edition for $20 Canadian. Damn, man, I wish I would have known that. I had Zombie though. I got Zombie. I need House of Bad Cemetery, and I need Two Evil Eyes. I don't want to think of it like I know you think pure money grab. I don't want to think of it like that. I want to think that they're doing it for the right reasons and getting like all the different versions out there. But the fact that it's like one right after the one that's coming shortly after the other one, Prowler Contraband. Oh, yes, I agree. Again, the Arrow titles next month. Nothing, George. Nothing this like next month as in that. But but yeah. I got distracted. I got like a message. I noticed I had a message on my Facebook and I hadn't seen it. Somehow it bypassed me. That happens sometimes. My sister Melissa's actually feeling under the weather right now. She got like she's got like low iron that in her blood, so she actually is being like having like the PICC line in there for a bit. So she should be okay. It's just she's gonna be in there for like she's gonna be like have it like in for like I think on and off for like till like late April, So hopefully I'll get to see her before then. I know I got to see Wes, and now Mimi is coming at the end of next month, and then after that, I'm hoping to get into Newfoundland to see some family members because it's been a while, and I really want to check on some stuff. So there you go. That's how things are going right here, right now. My better half is going away on Wednesday evening for 10 days, actually, because she's got to go to Port aux Basques, and I think she is got a day like in St. John's or in Gander, somewhere like that anyway. Probably Gander. To do some teaching out there on because that's one of the things she does is she teaches like different different seminars, like not teachings in like in the classroom, like not regular classroom setting. She does like things like respectful workplaces, stuff like that, for for a company that she works for. Fun stuff. But my beard is growing longer, my hair is getting messier, and it is that time again. I can see by the clock on the wall that it's time to bid you one and all. Check out the Wayne Schuster, Wayne Schuster ending. Trust me, it's really cool. It is that time. I am Aaron. This is the cult. This is my movie library. You are the cult of cinema. You guys rock, and it is 110%. Seriously. Have a great night, guys, and thank you so much. You'll be seeing more regular Cult of Cinema and more Cult of Cinema After Dark. If you watch this later on and you have not put in your vote for a Cult of Cinema After Dark, because we're not just doing adult titles, we're going to be doing like stuff like Hard Bodies 2 as well, and Fraternity Vacation, stuff like that. So that stuff you're going to see here in the After Dark portion of Cult of Cinema. Have a great evening, guys, and it is 110% time for tea. Thank you so much, Shadow. I'm going to put those slip covers on right now. I really appreciate it. I felt I was going to miss out on both of them. You the man. And coming up later on down the road, birthday unboxings next month. 31st is my birthday.